So get on your phones and give Shannon Baker a call. And first of all, what happened this week in recruiting, man?
Well, as you may or may not know, yesterday was National Signing Day for football recruits, and Florida State came out with a small class, smaller than perhaps usual, but they were limited in scholarships, but a great class nonetheless. And the two big keys out of the scholarship was out of Miami and then the defense. Those were really the two big stories that came out this week. 5 players out of the Hurricanes' backyard will be playing for the Seminoles next year, or at least in the Garnet and Gold. And defense, there's almost an entire defense that you could field out of this recruiting class. And it starts out of Miami and on the defense with linebacker Lamont Green, who is absolutely an outstanding product, one of the top defensive players in the nation. 2 other blue-chip linebacking prospects, Robert Hammond, an excellent safety who will be coming to the Seminoles. Offensively, they didn't get the back they wanted, Fred Taylor, out of Belglade. Committed to the Seminoles last Thursday, visited the Gators over the weekend, and then changed his mind and said he's going to Florida. So a little bit of disappointment there. So the Seminoles will be a little thin at running back at the tailback position next year, and no quarterback for the first time in over 10 years, which was kind of a surprise. But all in all, a small class, but a very, very good class. Bobby Bowden stressed that the academic scores from the class were very good. Another big offensive weapon, Magic Benton, a wide receiver out of Miami, another one of the top wide receivers in the nation. So still a lot to be excited about next year for the Seminoles, especially considering when you put them next together with the recruiting class of last year. Shannon, do you get to follow the Seminoles a lot when you're out on the NFL on the road?
Oh yeah, I mean, when you come from a school like Florida State, you always want to keep in touch with, know what's going on with your school that you just left, and that. I mean, there was a lot of games that I watched, just 1,000 times over and over that I even taped them. And, like with the Indianapolis coach, we have myself, Jesse Hester, and Ron Stark. So we was the only lone Seminoles up there, rooting. And we watched every game we could, and even the Notre Dame game, we watched that too. But I couldn't even go in the locker room, up in Indianapolis after that game. But we came out and they won the national championships, and that's all that counts.
Yes, it is. First, before we get on to the next subject, I want to bring up a point on the recruiting. We did lose a recruit that's from here, Tallahassee, Ben Washington, and he had almost committed to Florida State. And Brad Scott stole him from our backyard and took him up to South Carolina. And Bobby's mad. Bobby's a little mad. I heard that flying around the offices today. So. He's a defensive back, and he's one heck of a ball player. So that's a little rumor going on right now. Is Brad Scott kind of took? He said he wasn't going to take any recruits, but he ended up taking Ben Washington up to South Carolina with him, and he's offered wide receivers coach John Eason a assistant head coach job too. Things you learn on the sports shop. But let's get personal here with Shannon Baker. We're taking calls 644-1888. Give us a call. That's Shannon Baker playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Wait, before we do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a look of what he did. Here's a couple little plays of Shannon Baker when he was a Florida State Seminole. Let's go look at that really quick. There's a nice little reverse going around the end for a gain of about 20. And a nice catch on the sidelines.